Mozart, the child prodigy who composed for eternity 1756-1791 middle. Salzburg, Austria. Imagine being 5 years old and already writing music that leaves grown adults completely speechless. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But that's exactly what happened with a wild Austrian kid named Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, a guy who might just be, without any exaggeration, the greatest musical genius who ever lived. Birth and childhood. Mozart was born on January 27, 1756, in Salzburg, Austria. His father, Leopold Mozart, was a musician himself, and he figured out pretty fast that he had something extraordinary on his hands. By age 3, little Wolfgang was already spending hours at the keyboard, mimicking everything he heard. By 4, he was playing full pieces from memory. And by 5, he was writing his own compositions. Leopold wasted no time turning his kids into a sort of traveling roadshow. Mozart and his sister Nonrel toured the royal courts of Europe, performing for kings, queens, and aristocrats. The kid played for Empress Maria Theresa, wowed the crowds at Versailles, and in London met Johann Sebastian Bach's own son. It was basically a rock star world tour, except in the 1700s, by a horse-drawn carriage. Greatest achievements. Over a shockingly short life of just 35 years, Mozart produced an insane amount of masterpieces. We're talking over 600 compositions, symphonies, operas, concertos, masses, quartets. All of them incredible. Some of his biggest hits include the opera The Marriage of Figaro, which premiered in 1786 and became an instant sensation, Don Giovanni, widely considered the most perfect opera ever written, and The Magic Flute, a wild blend of magic, philosophy, and humor that blew audiences away. And his Symphony No. 40 is still one of the most recognizable pieces of classical music on the planet. But Mozart wasn't just talent, he had a huge personality. He was irreverent, had a crude sense of humor, and loved throwing jokes and even dirty words into his letters home. He was not the stiff, powdered-wig composer you might picture. He was a vivid, passionate, larger-than-life character who happened to be a once-in-a-millennium musical genius. Impact on the world. Mozart's legacy goes way beyond concert halls. He helped democratize classical music, pulling it away from the exclusive world of the nobility and bringing it closer to everyday people. His operas, first in Italian, then in German, were revolutionary in making art more accessible to the masses. Today, Mozart's music shows up in movies, TV shows, commercials, and even scientific studies. The famous Mozart effect, the theory that listening to his compositions boosts cognitive performance, became a pop culture phenomenon. Babies around the world grow up listening to Mozart. Hospitals play his sonatas to help patients heal. The guy died over 230 years ago and he's still part of our daily lives. Death and mystery. And now for the most tragic, and mysterious, part of this story. In 1791, Mozart was working on his Requiem, a funeral mass commissioned by a mysterious stranger whose face was hidden. Many believe Mozart saw it as an omen of his own death. On December 5, 1791, Mozart died in Vienna at just 35 years old. The official cause? Severe rheumatic fever. But the conspiracy theories never stopped. Some claim he was poisoned by his rival composer Salieri, a theory that inspired the 1984 Oscar-winning film Amadeus. Modern science, though, rules out poisoning. What is certain is that he was buried in a communal grave, with almost no ceremony, and not a single family member present. A shockingly humble end for someone so towering. The Requiem was left unfinished. The student completed it after his death. And to this day, when that music plays, you can feel there's something beyond it, as if Mozart is still trying to tell us something from wherever he is. Mozart lived a short life, but he composed enough to last forever. He reminds us that genius has no age, that beauty can come from nowhere, and that some human creations simply transcend time. If you've never sat down and listened to one of his symphonies, today is a great day to start. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Who do you want to see next?